Well, for those of you who haven't been here for a while, welcome to South Carolina, welcome to Conway, welcome to Horry County, and if you've been looking for rain and water, you've come to the right place. We are delighted to have the President here and others as well. We have not had a disaster like this one before. Hurricane Hugo in 1989 was a tremendous blow, but it came in McClellanville just above Charleston and went through in a hurry. Hurricane Florence came here and stayed, going to North Carolina and South Carolina, and left record amounts of rain. So our problem has not been with the wind and the rain hitting us, but with the rain that is still here. And we have not only the record amounts that have dropped on South Carolina, particularly in this third of the state, but we have the water coming down from North Carolina because we have three watersheds, three riversheds. The Waccamaw, the PD, and the Lynch's River, those watersheds all coming to where we are. So the rain, the water that you see out there now is just the beginning. The worst is yet to come. We're going to have water outside this building maybe 4 feet deep, maybe 5 feet deep, maybe something less. But we got people that need help. The good news is the team in South Carolina is up to the job. We have had the best cooperation and coordination and preparation that people say they have ever seen, and it goes from volunteers to private companies and private people, as well as the local authorities, the state authorities, with our congressional delegation and everybody in between, not the least of which has been our federal partners. We have had more cooperation and coordination and communication with our federal partners than we have ever had before. This may be the worst disaster that we've had in South Carolina, but the cooperation and the assistance and the encouragement and the confidence that's given to our people by the federal establishment and what we call Team South Carolina is beyond compare. So we are confident that we're going to build our way out of this. We've managed the hurricane. Now we've got to manage the floods, and then we'll manage the reconstruction and the rebuilding. And one great thing that we have helping us is this man standing behind me, President Donald Trump. 1 in a million. South Carolina loves you, and we're delighted you're here.
First of all, Henry, thank you, and you're doing a fantastic job. Everybody, the job that you're doing, the coordination. We just left North Carolina. They got hit really, really hard, and they are working, and all of that water is coming your way. A lot of people don't know that. They assume you look outside and you see this beautiful weather, but over the next couple of days, it's going to get rough in South Carolina. So the federal government is behind you. We have Lindsey Graham here. We have Tim. Where's Tim and Lindsey? Tim, Scott. They have they're with us all the way. They're with us all the way, and whatever we need from Washington, we are there. Our team, I don't think there's ever been a team like this. From everybody, virtually everybody said it. What we're doing on a federal basis, what you're doing on a local basis, and the coordination has been absolutely incredible. So I know you have a rough few days, and then it'll last a long time. Could last a long time. But you're going to have a rebuilding process, and we are behind you from day one. From 3 days ago, and now it looks nice, but it's really the calm before the storm, because you're going to have a lot of water. We see it. It's coming down. It just comes down. Nobody would believe a thing like this could happen. And already you've broken all records, and this is going to add 4, 5, 6 feet of water all over the state. So Washington is with you. Trump is with you. We are all with you 100%, and we'll get through it. And I think the most exciting part is going to be that rebuild, because we're going to have a lot of rebuilding. I flew over, and there's a lot of damage. And you haven't really been hit yet by comparison to what's coming. So I love South Carolina. I love this state. I'm very proud of Henry McMaster, the job he's done as your governor. And I can tell you that Tim and Lindsey and myself and Tom, from the great congressman, we're all in there fighting. And it's going to work out very well. This room, the job you do is great. and we really want to thank you. This is real emergency stuff at the highest level, and we want to thank you. So anything I can do, you all know where to call me, and we will be there for South Carolina. We're going to be there for this disaster. Thank you, everyone. I'd like to introduce a man who has truly been working overtime, and he has been prepared for this for actually a long time. But over the last 4 or 5 days, there's nobody that's worked harder than General Livingston, and I just want to thank you. And General, maybe you can say a few words.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You know, in South Carolina, we always talk about Team South Carolina, and everybody sitting out here is part of Team South Carolina. And I told that to the president. I said, well, maybe we ought to call it Team America now that Libby's here and that Shaughnessy's come in and Lingelle's come in. He says, no, I like South Carolina. He wants to be part of our team. So that's Team South Carolina. Team South Carolina's been out there from day one with evacuations. We've been evacuating people, working search and rescue, taking care of our citizens, welfare checks, security, infrastructure hardening, and that's everybody sitting in this room doing that. And now we're getting ready for this flood. We're really working on that infrastructure, getting ready to move our people, and we got backup to backup to backup. If we lose the road, which we don't think we're going to do, but if we lose the road, we got bridges. We're going to bring the bridges in. We got aircraft. We are ready to take care of people of South Carolina who also happen to be part of Team South Carolina. I do want to give a real quick shout out to the governor's military force, the South Carolina National Guard. While we're fighting this flood, we've got men and women down on the southwest border. We've got men and women in Afghanistan, and we got men and women in Kuwait fighting the Syrian battle, taking care of this nation while we also take care of our people. Mr. President, thank you so much for your support of this great state.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
So, kind of put things in perspective at the local level. First off, thank you to everyone who's involved in this, and many of you in this room are victims as well. And the support that you've given this operation, plus those in the field that are supporting what's going on, not only all the volunteers, all the staff, everybody, all the coordination between all the jurisdictions. In my opinion, this is the way it's supposed to be done, and I think we're showing that each and every day. You're making it easy for me, and I'm hoping we're making it easier for the president and the governor and the general, because if you do it right, it does become easier. We're looking at a very tough situation in Horry County and the PD. I don't want to forget that. Record levels of flooding for 3 out of the last 4 years is a tremendous challenge. And I will tell you right now, this has been one of the most challenging events I've ever been involved in. But the Team Horry, Team South Carolina, has making it, every chance we can get to make this as good as we can, save lives as much as possible, protect property as much as possible, and to do the things we can do now. So hopefully the recovery will go quicker and we get things up and running as soon as possible. So we know what we're facing. We want everybody else to understand what we may be facing. What's coming is unprecedented. But we want everybody to know this team, all of us, state and federal partners, are behind everybody in Horry County and the PD region. And we will get through it. We'll make it happen. And we'll all be better for it in the end. And I'm just very proud, and Mr. President, I just want to thank you for your commitment and help on the federal level for everything you're doing for us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So good luck, everybody. We're with you all the way, 100%. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.